tonight at 11. We are following an election like no other. Former President Donald Trump is now President-elect Trump.
Tonight, the Trump campaign confirms he has accepted an invitation from President Joe Biden to meet at the White House to discuss the presidential transition. It comes just hours after Vice President Kamala Harris conceded the race, ending her brief but historic campaign. She spoke to her supporters today at Howard University in Washington, D.C., delivering a heartfelt message of hope.
Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. That doesn't mean we won't win. The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. You have power.
Tonight, the Trump campaign confirms Vice President Harris called President-elect Trump to congratulate him on his victory. Officials say Mr. Trump acknowledged VP Harris on her strength, professionalism, and tenacity throughout the campaign, saying both leaders agreed on the importance of unifying the country.
So how did we get to this point here, folks? President-elect Trump won several key battleground states, earning him a lion's share of the electoral college votes needed to clinch the White House.
And both Trump and Harris employed different strategies throughout the campaign. Joe Ripley with our 11 Alive political team joins us now. And Joe, you spoke with strategists on both sides of the aisle here to figure out what pushed President-elect Trump over the top.
That's right. So let's start first with the GOP, which built a strong ground game and increased their margins in largely Republican areas, not only just in Georgia, but other swing states like Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. It led them to victory. But for Democrats, defeat comes with lessons learned and regrouping now for the next election cycle.
We're just going to make America great again.
Georgia GOP Chair Josh McCoon celebrates the 2024 presidential election results.
Huge victory for us here. Validation of our strategy, going after low propensity voters. We had tremendous success with that. Almost 20% of the people that voted in this election did not vote in 2020.
McCoon credits white women, Latino men, and younger voters for winning President-elect Donald Trump a second term.
These are real opportunities for us to continue to grow the Republican Party into a multiracial coalition really built around middle class and working class America.
I don't think she did anything necessarily wrong. I think that it was just really where the country was. They wanted change.
Democratic strategist Theron Johnson says Vice President Kamala Harris raised significant money and rallied in critical swing states, but only had 106 days to make a splash.
Had there been a little bit more runway for her, a little bit more time to introduce and sort of compete with the Trump campaign and make a compelling argument to the American people, she would have won. So what we got to do is regroup, accept the loss, and be ready to compete in 2026.
Political strategist Fred Hicks blames Harris's campaign strategy.
The Democratic base did not fully align behind her, and that if there's anything that she could have done different is that she could have spent more time working on tuning out Democrats and less time trying to court the middle.
He says ultimately voters cared more about immigration and inflation and wanted change.
But it's hard for people to think about something 6 months or 9 months down the line from now when they're trying to make it between the 15th and the 1st of every month.
Hicks says tonight a trend to watch for in 2026 and 2028 and beyond. Polarization. Blue areas in Georgia like Metro Atlanta and other large city centers are getting bluer. Meantime, traditionally red areas are only getting redder.
Yeah, that's really interesting there, Joe. Thanks a lot.